In the realm of Islamic eschatology, the end of times is marked by significant figures and events, serving as signs of the approaching day of judgment. Among these figures, Dajjal, the false messiah, stands out as a formidable force of deception and tribulation. His emergence signifies a period of immense trial and turmoil for humanity. Muslims are taught to recognize the signs of his coming and seek refuge in Allah from his evil. The term Dajjal itself comes from the Arabic word Dajjal, meaning to deceive or to lie. This aptly describes his primary characteristic. He will appear before humanity claiming to be a prophet and even God himself. His arrival will be a test of faith designed to separate the righteous from the wicked. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in numerous hadiths, forewarned his followers about the dangers of Dajjal, emphasizing the importance of recognizing his signs and remaining steadfast in faith. The advent of Dajjal is not a sudden occurrence, but rather the culmination of a gradual decline in moral and spiritual values. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, prophesied that Dajjal would appear at a time when the world is steeped in materialism, greed, and spiritual emptiness. This moral decay would create fertile ground for Dajjal's deception to take root. In such an environment, people crave instant gratification and easy solutions to their problems. Dajjal, with his promises of worldly pleasures and miraculous abilities, will exploit this vulnerability, leading many astray with his falsehood. He will prey on people's desires, offering them wealth, status, and even the ability to control nature itself. The Prophet, peace be upon him, warned that Dajjal would emerge during a time of severe famine and hardship. People desperate for sustenance and relief will be easily swayed by his deceptive promises. This highlights the importance of cultivating strong faith and self-sufficiency in preparation for such trials. Descriptions of Dajjal's physical appearance based on the hadiths are remarkably detailed, serving as clear signs for believers. He is described as a young man with a ruddy complexion, curly hair, and a wide, stocky build. A distinguishing feature is that he will be blind in one eye, while the other eye will protrude abnormally, described as being like a floating grape. The most alarming characteristic, however, is that the Arabic word kafir, disbeliever, will be inscribed between his eyes, visible to all who see him. This serves as a clear warning sign for believers, a physical manifestation of his true nature. Beyond his physical attributes, Dajjal's behavior and speech will also betray his falsehood. He will be arrogant, boastful, and given to fits of rage. His speech will be eloquent and persuasive, filled with promises of worldly delights and threats against those who oppose him. Dajjal's primary weapon is not brute force, but rather deception and temptation. He will possess supernatural abilities granted to him by Allah, but these powers will be used to mislead and corrupt. He will command the elements, causing rain to fall and vegetation to grow in some areas, while inflicting drought and famine in others. He will be able to bestow wealth seemingly out of thin air, resurrect the dead, though it will be a deception involving jinn, and even offer insights into people's past and future. These feats, while appearing miraculous, will be nothing more than elaborate illusions designed to deceive. Dajjal's ability to exploit people's desires and manipulate their perceptions will be his greatest strength. He will appeal to the materialistic inclinations of society, offering instant gratification and worldly pleasures in exchange for allegiance. He will sow seeds of doubt and discord, turning people against one another and undermining their faith. Section 5. The Shield of Faith. In the face of Dajjal's formidable powers and cunning deceptions, the most potent weapon for believers is unwavering faith in Allah. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized that Dajjal's magic will hold no power over those whose hearts are firm in their belief. True faith acts as a shield against deception, allowing believers to see through Dajjal's illusions and recognize his falsehood. It is through sincere prayer, remembrance of Allah, and adherence to Islamic teachings that one can strengthen their faith and prepare for the trials of Dajjal. Furthermore, the Prophet, peace be upon him, stressed the importance of seeking knowledge, particularly knowledge of the Quran and Sunnah, his teachings. This knowledge will equip believers with the ability to discern truth from falsehood and make informed decisions during a time of great confusion. Section 6. Seeking refuge in Allah. Recognizing the immense threat posed by Dajjal, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught his followers specific prayers and supplications for protection. These prayers, when recited with sincerity and conviction, serve as a means of seeking refuge in Allah from Dajjal's evil. One such supplication found in Sahih Muslim is, "O Allah, I seek refuge in you from the torment of the hellfire, from the torment of the grave, from the trials of life and death, and from the evil of the trial of the false Messiah Dajjal." The Prophet, peace be upon him, also advised his followers to recite the first 10 verses and the last 3 verses of Surah Al-Kahf, chapter 18 of the Quran, as a protection against Dajjal. These verses contain profound wisdom and guidance, reminding believers of Allah's power and the transient nature of this world. While Dajjal will wreak havoc and lead many astray, his reign of terror will not last forever. Islamic prophecy foretells the return of Prophet Isa, or Jesus, who will descend to earth near the end of times as a sign of the approaching day of judgment. Prophet Isa's descent will mark a turning point in the battle against Dajjal. He will confront Dajjal at a time when the world is on the brink of utter chaos and despair. This confrontation is not merely a physical battle, but a clash between truth and falsehood, between faith and deception. The Prophet Muhammad described Prophet Isa as a righteous leader who will rule with justice and compassion according to the laws of Islam. His arrival will inspire hope in the hearts of believers and instill fear in the hearts of Dajjal and his followers. The encounter between Prophet Isa and Dajjal will culminate in a decisive victory for truth and righteousness. Prophet Isa, empowered by Allah, will vanquish Dajjal, destroying him and his followers. This victory will usher in an era of peace and justice, where Islam will prevail as the dominant way of life. The defeat of Dajjal serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how powerful or pervasive evil may seem, it will ultimately be defeated by the truth. This event holds profound significance in Islamic eschatology, signifying the ultimate triumph of good over evil and the establishment of Allah's will on earth. It serves as a beacon of hope for believers, reminding them that even in the darkest of times, Allah's justice and mercy will prevail. The story of Dajjal, though deeply rooted in Islamic eschatology, holds timeless lessons that are relevant to people of all faiths and backgrounds. It serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked materialism, blind faith in authority, and the seductive nature of worldly temptations. Dajjal's emergence in a time of moral decay and spiritual emptiness is a stark reminder that true fulfillment cannot be found in material possessions or worldly pursuits. It highlights the importance of cultivating strong moral values, seeking knowledge, and nurturing our spiritual connection with Allah. The story also emphasizes the importance of critical thinking and discernment. Dajjal's ability to deceive lies in his ability to manipulate perceptions and exploit people's desires. By developing our critical thinking skills and questioning what we see and hear, we can protect ourselves from falling prey to deception. The story of Dajjal is not just a prediction of future events, but a call to action in the present. It is a reminder to fortify our faith, live righteously, and be vigilant against all forms of deception. We must strive to create a society rooted in justice, compassion, and a deep connection with Allah. By embodying these values, we not only prepare ourselves for the trials of this world, including the potential arrival of Dajjal, but also contribute to a more just and equitable society for all. The lessons learned from the story of Dajjal can serve as a guiding light, illuminating our path towards a brighter future. May Allah protect us from the trials of Dajjal and grant us the strength and wisdom to remain steadfast in our faith.